Hi, everybody. I'm Bryan Mudd, a fan of South Plains politics. Here's your talking points for this week. Bernie said this, and Bubba said that, and Leanne did this while she was in office. A look at what's information and what's disinformation on social media. And Bernie may be the Dems frontrunner heading into Super Tuesday, but he still has a lot of explaining to do about a lot of his policies. We'll ask him about it.
From the studios of KMAC Television in Lubbock, your local election headquarters. This is Talking Points with Bryan Mudd.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Also this week, the quiet life. It's been fun to see Lubbock grow. In fact, it's one of the fastest growing cities in the country. But there are those of us who prefer a quieter neighborhood away from the city noise. Some of those folks live out by Hillcrest Country Club, and they were not particularly happy to hear about the Expo Center Steering Committee buying land up the street to eventually build that facility there. Those neighbors took their unhappiness to the City Council, which is in the process of deciding whether or not to rezone that land so the Expo Center can be built. And that decision is not quite the formality you might expect. KMAC's Brenda Lupinski tells us about this week's hearing that went long into the night.
Because that's all I've got left right now at 11:35 at night.
It was a long 4-hour deliberation that residents from north side of Lubbock faced to oppose the rezoning changes to build the Lubbock County Expo Center.
The same side. Motion carries.
In the end, it was a 4-3 vote in favor of rezoning.
I supported the zone change last night. I felt like the concerns brought up by the citizens at the meeting could be addressed or would be addressed by the project. Their concerns were like a lot of zone cases. Traffic, noise, trash. One unique thing was the smell of or odors associated with the animals that might be shown at that facility.
The community pleaded with the council, and some recommending the center should be moved to the fairgrounds. Randy Jordan, chairman of the Expo Center Steering Committee, says there wasn't much room to grow at the fairgrounds.
Yes, there was some aesthetic value, some visual value, but when you get into the actual logistics of it, it didn't work. It's not big enough. We realized that. We had to move on.
He says he's excited for the vote and looks forward to the next one coming up.
We certainly were excited because last night was just the next step in a long process that we've been working on for nearly 2 years for the Lubbock County Expo Center to come to life.
That is Brenda Lupinski reporting, and let's spend a few minutes here with Terrence Kovar, who's the Republican candidate for Lubbock County Commissioner in Precinct 1. Good to see you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
All right, so what's your thoughts on the Expo Center project now? Is that being handled the right way, you think?
I think so. I've met with some of the members of the Expo Center, and they were waiting on the City Council to vote, and now we got to go to the second vote to change the
zoning
and everything. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
And now they're going to move forward from there.
From a county perspective, though, is there a worry? Or, I mean, are you confident that taxpayers aren't going to be on the hook for any of this down the road?
After the meeting I had and the amount of funds that were already raised through the hotel tax, hot tax, I don't see, we were late drawing or getting the taxes from the hotel. Right. But from some of the numbers I've gotten just for 6 months of it was 1.5 million. And that could be even more if it had been a whole year's worth, during the busier parts when tech graduates. Sure. Items like that, football games. And so I don't think the citizens are going to be on the hook for it, but like everything else, you always need to research it and just do your due diligence.
All of us, I guess, here. Now, this is the second time, I guess, running for this job for you?
It is. I ran against Mr. Bill McKay 4 years ago.
Why jump back into this now? Was there a particular issue that you thought needed to be addressed by someone new?
Yes, sir. I wanted to get new blood in there. I wanted to get rid of the old political party that kind of runs the city of Lubbock and trying to move into the county, and I want to be the outsider that comes in and brings new ideas in.
What new ideas you think are needed in this whole scenario? Yeah,
and when I say new ideas, that's working with everyone, keeping the public informed, and then working with every department head in the county. We need to sit down with the budget from now, or the time I walk into the office, till it's time for budget year, and let's discuss what's going on in each department. I don't believe any of the commissioners do that, or from the past commissioners' work, and we need to do it. We need to work with everyone.
New court, some of the new faces on the court has
New court
been looking at holding taxes where they are, controlled spending direction forward there. But there are needs coming down the road here. We know that. There's been talk of a county jail expansion, just as an example. How do you pay for that and still keep taxes the way they are?
That's a tough question. My thought is we need to hold steady on our taxes, and we do need to review every aspect, which Mr. Rowe is already starting a plan for that. They're going to review it from the courthouse all the way to the jailhouse of why are these prisoners staying in jail longer than they used to.
Right.
You know, they need to be processed in and out a lot quicker so we don't have to add on to the jail. But there are other issues in the county that if you hold steady on the taxes, with the new growth coming in, new business opportunities that we can bring to Lubbock, then we'll be able to attack some of these other issues with the juvenile system they're having issues with. The courthouse is getting full of people. We may have to move your precinct judges out in the precinct.
And that's a state issue, is that not?
That's a state requirement, yes.
Just depending on the size of your county, I think is how that ends up working.
So now that's
more cost and more things.
Yes, sir. And then the road issues.
Sure.
Continuously building on that. And then look at the county buildings. There's a lot of them. They're really old. And they've been doing remodels, and you're going to have to continue to keep the infrastructure up. That's air conditioner repairs, plumbing repairs, and everything's expensive when you're talking about big buildings.
Stuff you would think about. Now, your main opponent in TV ads has claimed that you have not been registered to vote in many recent elections. You did not vote in the road bond election. You did not vote in the Expo Center election. Is all of that true?
I have voted in the past.
Okay.
I did. For some reason, I lost my registration. I had to go re-register to vote when I ran against Bill McKay. And if you don't vote in a presidential election, I believe 2 times in a row, you have to go re-register to vote. So I did. And then I have voted since then, did not vote for those 2 items that she is talking about.
Why not?
I just didn't feel like I had enough information. And I should have went and voted because there were other proposals on the ballot at that time.
Right.
I don't recall exactly what they were, and I just didn't do it. I didn't do my part as a taxpayer.
Your opponent has a long resume with jobs in city government.
Yes.
Tell folks here in the final seconds we have why you are a better candidate for the commissioner job despite all that.
I'm a better candidate because bring the new person to the table. I'm the voter's guy to come in there. I'm not somebody from the political machine that we're used to having. And I'm dedicated to my job. If elected and when elected, I'm going to make this Lubbock County my full duty. I'm going to have to retire from my current position, and I will do everything I can for Lubbock County.
There you have it, Terrence Kovar, the outsider who kind of likes it that way.
Yes, sir.
Running for the county commissioner's job, and we certainly appreciate you coming in today.
I do appreciate you having me. It's been an exciting race.
And let's do this week's poll question. Should prayer be allowed in Texas public schools? Like last week, this is one of the GOP propositions on the ballot this time around. We just want to know what our viewers think there. Talk to us on the KMAC News Facebook page and on everythinglubbock.com. Click on Talking Points and give us your opinion.